The Denver Nuggets have quietly built one of the most complete rosters in the NBA, and this time, they did it with a clear sense of purpose. After back-to-back second-round exits that left fans frustrated and analysts skeptical about whether their 2023 championship was a one-time miracle, Denver's front office finally acted like a team that knows its window is open right now. For years, the Nuggets' depth issues were the story behind every playoff collapse. They had Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon doing everything possible to carry the load. But once the bench checked in, the leads evaporated, the defense broke down, and opponents took advantage of every weak spot. This summer, that changed. It started with a bold trade that shocked a lot of fans. Michael Porter Jr., the talented but inconsistent forward who had been both a blessing and a liability, was shipped to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Cam Johnson. At first, it felt like a gamble. Porter was a fan favorite because of his size and shooting, but when you look deeper, it made perfect sense. Johnson is not only a better defender, but also a smarter player overall. He shot 39% from 3 last season, but the shooting isn't the only reason Denver targeted him. Johnson moves without the ball, cuts at the right times, sets screens, and plays with the kind of awareness that makes everyone around him better. When you pair that with Jokic's unmatched court vision, it's the kind of fit that can transform an offense overnight. Jamal Murray was one of the first to react positively when the trade was finalized. He told reporters during training camp, "Cam just fits. He knows where to be, when to move, and he doesn't force anything. You can already tell playing with him is going to be easy." Murray's excitement wasn't just about the offense. He emphasized that Johnson's defensive instincts will finally allow Denver to switch more comfortably on the perimeter. For a team that got torched by guards like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the playoffs, that's a big deal. The Nuggets also tackled another long-standing issue, the backup center position. Watching Denver when Jokic sat used to be painful for fans. The team's on-off numbers were catastrophic, and games often slipped away while he rested. Jonas Valanciunas was brought in to change that. A veteran big man with a reputation for toughness and reliability, Valanciunas doesn't need to score 20 points a night to make a difference. His rebounding and interior presence give Denver something it hasn't had since Jokic became the focal point of the franchise: stability when the MVP sits. Head coach David Adelman praised the signing immediately, saying, "Jonas gives us a foundation for that second unit. He's smart, he can pass, and he brings a physical edge we've needed for years." Even Jokic, who usually avoids making public statements about roster moves, mentioned Valanciunas during media day. "He's solid," Jokic said with a grin. "You know what you're getting from him every night. He's strong, he plays the right way, and he makes good reads. That helps me a lot. Coming from Jokic, that's high praise." Another major storyline this offseason was the return of Bruce Brown. After leaving Denver following the championship run in 2023, Brown bounced around Indiana, Toronto, and New Orleans, never finding the same comfort or success he had with the Nuggets. His return feels like a reunion the entire locker room needed. Murray called it the best move of the summer. Gordon said it just feels right having Bruce back. Brown brings energy, defense, and the kind of positional flexibility that allows Denver to mix and match lineups without losing identity. He can handle the ball when Murray sits, guard multiple positions, and most importantly, he knows exactly how to play next to Jokic. Denver didn't stop there. They added Tim Hardaway Jr., a move that didn't make big headlines but could pay off in a huge way. Hardaway is a pure shooter, and that's all he needs to be in this system. He's been attempting over 7 threes per game for the past several seasons, and with Jokic and Murray creating open looks, he'll get more clean shots than ever before. Adelman kept it simple when describing Hardaway's role. "We need him to do one thing: shoot the ball when he's open, nothing else." That kind of clarity can make a role player thrive. Behind the scenes, Denver also made front office changes that set a new tone for the organization. Calvin Booth was replaced by Ben Tenzer and Jonathan Wallace, both of whom are known for being aggressive and analytical. The Nuggets have often been criticized for playing it safe, relying too much on continuity, but this offseason showed a different side. Tenzer told reporters, "We knew we couldn't just run it back again. The league evolves, and we needed to evolve with it." That new approach gave Denver a roster that's deeper than ever. They now have a bench with legitimate contributors at every position, something fans have been begging for. Young players like Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther, who both showed flashes last season, are expected to take another step forward. Rookie big man Don Holmes has been one of the surprise stories of training camp. Assistant coach Charles Klask said he's already an NBA player. You can see it. He competes, he shoots, he plays hard. He's going to be in the rotation early. Jamal Murray couldn't stop praising the revamped bench during camp. On day 2, he told reporters, "This might be the best depth we've had since I got here. We've got size, shooting, defense, everything. We can throw out so many different lineups and not lose much. I think people are going to be surprised how good our second unit is." His enthusiasm spread quickly among teammates. Aaron Gordon echoed it, saying, "We're going to be a nightmare for teams to guard. You can't just focus on one guy anymore." All of this has reignited talk of whether this could be the best team Jokic has ever had. The Serbian superstar is still at the peak of his powers, putting up absurd efficiency numbers while controlling every game like a conductor. The difference now is that he won't have to do everything himself. With more shot creators, better spacing, and stronger defense, Jokic can conserve energy for the moments that truly matter in May and June. Despite how good the roster looks, there's still one question lingering: defense. Last season, Denver ranked 21st in defensive efficiency, their worst mark in years. Opponents scored easily at the rim, especially when Jokic was on the floor. The team knew this had to change if they wanted another title run. By replacing Michael Porter Jr. and Russell Westbrook with Cam Johnson and Bruce Brown, they addressed two of the biggest defensive weaknesses in their rotation. According to Second Spectrum, Porter was the most frequent tagger in Denver's defense last season, meaning he was often the one responsible for helping in the paint. His inconsistent rotations often left shooters open. Johnson's ability to read offenses and recover to his man should fix a lot of those issues. Around the league, analysts have started to take notice. Former player J.J. Redick called Denver's offseason quietly the best in the NBA. Kendrick Perkins, who's not always been high on Jokic, admitted on ESPN's NBA Today, "They fixed every hole they had. I don't see a weakness right now. If they stay healthy, they're going back to the finals." Richard Jefferson echoed that on NBA Countdown, saying, "People forgot how dominant they were in 2023. This team might actually be better. This is not the same team that stumbled in the last two postseasons. It's a stronger, wiser, and more complete version of a group that already knows what it takes to win a title." The rest of the league should be nervous, because when you give the best player in the world a full, balanced roster with no glaring weaknesses, you don't just get a contender, you get a nightmare. And as Jamal Murray put it best, "We're coming for everything. Nobody's sleeping on us this time."
First reported, and then our own Young Masuk confirmed it and followed up, that Nikola Jokic and his representatives have informed the Nuggets that he will not be accepting the contract extension that was offered this summer. This is not a stunner, because even Josh Kroenke, their governor, said in his season-ending media that he was going to offer it and he wasn't sure that it was actually going to be accepted. He has 3 years left on his contract, he has an option for the last year. So he's got 2 years left guaranteed with the Nuggets. And he could have done a 2-year extension, basically. There would have been a 3-year extension. You'd opted out and replaced it. But basically, it would have been only 2 years of new money. Next year, he can sign for a much larger deal with 3 years of new money. So it's actually kind of 4 years when you look at, he'd get paid for this year and then add 3 more. So it kind of made sense that he would not sign this. You know, like Josh Kroenke said, the team was prepared for it. That said, McMahon, when your franchise player doesn't sign an extension, it is going to stutter you a little bit, especially when the team has had, some fumbles the last couple of years with the roster.
Yeah, and again, not a surprise. It completely makes sense from a financial perspective for Joker to go ahead and wait. Just like it made sense from a financial perspective for De'Aaron Fox to go ahead and wait and not to commit to the Sacramento Kings last summer. Now, we all know how that worked out. Having said that, Joker's got a little bit more